morning. Welcome to the UU Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We're delighted that you could join us for this service. Our mission at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. My name is Maddie Sunaway, and I serve as a worship associate for this congregation. If you are a newcomer or visitor to our congregation, please go to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill to receive more information about our congregation and to receive our weekly email newsletter. If you're joining us online today, please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. We'd like to hear from you and extend a welcome to you as well. A gentle reminder, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices so that we can enjoy this service uninterrupted by buzzing or ringing. Today's sermon is titled UU Values and Generosity. Our newly articulated UU value of generosity suggests that our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. How can we cultivate this kind of generosity and practice it within and beyond our congregation? Our opening words were written by Carl Seberg. Let there be joy in our coming together this morning. Let there be truth heard in the words we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together. Please join me in saying the words to light our chalice. Within the heart of the flower, the fountain of beauty. Within the heart of the community, a fire that warms and dances. Within the heart of each of us, a spark of the spirit of life.
Good morning. Good morning. Please rise and body your spirit to join in singing our opening hymn. It's a little call and response.
I'll call and you'll respond. Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
For all gathered here.
For all gathered here.
And those far away.
And those far away.
For this time we share.
For this time we share.
With love and care.
With love and care.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
For all gathered here.
For all gathered here.
And those far away.
And those far away.
For this life we share.
For this life we share.
With love and care.
With love and care.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
For all gathered here.
For all gathered here.
And those far away.
And those far away.
For these gifts we share.
For these gifts we share.
With love and care.
With love and care.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day. Please be seated.
Alrighty, friends, good morning. If there are any kiddos that want to come up for our time for all ages, now's your chance. Alrighty, friends, good morning. It's easy to think about how much we love those that are close to us. Can anyone tell me who's close to them that they love? Mom? Yeah, my sister Aspen, my mom, exactly. What if we wanted to grow and expand that love? We might think of what happens when you throw a stone into a pond. What happens when you throw a stone into a pond? It ripples, right. It makes a splash, absolutely, and it ripples out. Then the ripples get bigger and bigger and bigger. Just like those ripples, we could be more and more generous with our love. What would those ripples be? So can everyone? Our heart expanding, that's right. And kindness. So can everyone make a small circle with their fingers? Just like that. So in this circle, we have our family. That's our first circle. Then let's make that circle a little bit bigger like this. That could be our close friends and our family, our extended family like grandparents and aunts and uncles. Now let's make the circle like this. Can we make a circle like that? That could be the people and beings in our neighborhoods. How about let's make it a little bit bigger? That could be our church, or maybe our pack of scouts, or it could be the people in our school or clubs. Now let's make it even bigger. That could be the people in our town, or even our city in all of Pittsburgh. Can we make it bigger? Let's grow our circle out. Yeah, maybe this could be in our state. What's our state? Pennsylvania. This is all these people we love. That's right, in our city of Bridges and beyond. So could we grow our circle amongst us in our group? Could we share or see how big we could get our circle? That could be our whole country. We're almost there. What about congregation? Can we grow our circle even further out? Let's see how big we can make our circle. All the way behind our back. Just think of what we could do if we expanded our hearts to love the world. It'd be pretty amazing, right? So when we think about love without boundaries, that means we are sharing love with people we don't know at all, who are different from us. It's about being generously loving to all people and all beings, not just those close to us or that look like us or talk like us. And it's also a gift to us, because then we can discover some wondrous and beautiful things when we generously widen our circles to love all people and all beings. And with that, we will head to our RE classes. Let's sing the kiddos out.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. For our love is with you always. As you go, as you go, as you go, may joy surround you. As you go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. I trust in the power of generosity. Give her a shawl I can't afford. While she's gone, I'm the one who stays warm, thinking about that shawl over her shoulders. I trust in the power of generosity and give him a $20 bill. He stands alone at the intersection, but he's given me a sense of connection. What's this secret I've stumbled onto? Something we all should have been told. Maybe you always do. For me, I didn't know it till I got older, but that's better than never. what she can see. She fills up on love, but so do we. What's this secret I've stumbled onto? Something we all should have been told. Maybe you always knew. For me, I didn't know it till I got older, but that's better than never knowing the power of generosity. There have been times when I didn't know if I'd make it through. I searched desperately for remedies to feeling blue. Mindfulness, forgiveness, generosity brings happiness. It's true. Trust in the power of generosity. An open, my reclusive heart. It likes to hide, likes to stay inside, but too much self-concern and I fall apart. What's this secret I've stumbled onto? Something we all should have been told. Maybe you always knew. For me, I didn't know it till I got older, but that's better than ever knowing the power of generosity. Better than ever knowing the power of generosity.
We're changing our order of service today, so we're going to go ahead with our morning offering now. Our Share the Plate beneficiary for the month of October is the UU Disaster Relief Fund, which provides aid to UU congregations, their members, and their communities in the wake of disasters of all kinds. UU Disaster Relief Fund grants can be used for damage to congregations' buildings and relocation to temporary locations, damage to members' and friends' homes and relocation expenses, and donations to local partner organizations that serve the community at large, particularly those who would not be eligible for other funding. You can make a gift online on our website or by text at 412-324-3130. We'll be passing our offering baskets for cash and checks in just a moment. If you're writing a check, please make it out to UUCSH and put Share the Plate in the memo line. Thank you for your generosity.
This is the time in our service when we share joys and sorrows that have been submitted by members of the congregation. After each joy or sorrow that I share, please respond by saying, "We hold you in our hearts." A sorrow from Dio Bouquet, who says, "My neighbor, Bill Savage, age 65, died on Wednesday at home of a heart attack unexpectedly. Please keep his wife, Tina, in your thoughts." To Dio and to the family and friends of Bill Savage, we hold you in our hearts. A joy submitted by Bethany Thornton. What an awesome day at Sunnyhill yesterday. Our community showed up despite several long delays to get those pumpkins unloaded and ready to sell. We sold the first pumpkin before we even finished unloading the truck. And then we had a fabulous evening tasting lots of delicious homemade soups and chilies. Congratulations to the winners of the Soup and Chili Cook-Off, Dennis Sweeney, Dorothy Burns, Kira Shelton, and Brad Convis. And thank you to everyone who took part. You can multiply that joy by signing up to help in the pumpkin patch this week. Let's keep that joy going. A joy from Ann Payne-Reeves, who says, "We are new to Sunnyhill as of earlier this year. Next month, we will move our 25-year-old intellectually disabled daughter from a group home in New Mexico to our home in Pittsburgh. She will be attending Sunnyhill, and her name is Taryn." To Anne and her family, we hold you in our hearts. A joy from Asia Jones says, "Sharing the joy in celebrating 10 years of marriage with Jonathan and our children, Adrian and Apollo." To Asia and her family, we hold you in our hearts. From Joe Shaughnessy, he says, "This will hopefully be a joy in the near future. I had a liver biopsy done on Thursday. Results might be in sometime in a few weeks or sooner. Prayers and positive healing energy are gratefully accepted." To Joe, we hold you in our hearts. As we sing our musical meditation, we invite anyone who feels moved to do so to come forward, light a candle, place it in the sand, and then return to your seats.
I am
Please join me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. As the leaves light up from within and drift down to the ground, we come together this morning to share the light within each of us, to find a temporary place of rest here in this church, in this gathered community, this place of great love and compassion. It's been a difficult week for some of us, dealing with unexpected challenges, struggling with troublesome, unanswerable questions, searching for a spark of hope in sadness, comforting others while feeling loss ourselves. It's been a joyful week for some of us, spending time with friends and family in the clear, brisk air of autumn, enjoying the light and color of this time of year, gathering in the warmth of hearth and home. Let us take a moment to breathe together, aware of both the struggles and the comforts of this week and this season. Let us pause for a moment of shared silence. May the Spirit of life be known among us and become for us an encouraging presence as we experience both joy and sorrow. And may we become the change we want to see in our own lives and in the life of our world. Amen. Today's sermon is the second in a series of 7 sermons that I'm delivering over the course of this church year about our newly articulated UU values. This articulation puts love at the center, with our other values radiating outward, including interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. So each month I'm going to devote 1 week to one of these 7 values. Today I'm focusing on the value of generosity. Our UU values statement describes generosity in this way: we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. With generosity, as with the other values, we're not faced with an intellectual proposition with which you either agree or disagree. Rather, we are faced with a spiritual challenge. The kind of challenge that requires sitting with an idea and wrestling with it a bit, rather than merely saying amen or right on and then moving ahead to the next idea. Generosity is related in this statement to gratitude and hope. Hope is a word that we keep coming back to, especially during these challenging times when hope often seems to be in such short supply. And as it's worded here, generosity is something that connects us to one another. Here, as in the other UU values, relationship is primary. Principles and values do no good in a vacuum. It is only when we start trying to live these ideas in community with one another that they begin to have any real meaning. Generosity as a value or guiding principle is, of course, nothing new, and certainly not something that is unique to Unitarian Universalists. Some articulation of generosity exists in virtually every religious tradition. The teachings of Jesus, particularly in his parables, are filled with ideas about generosity. In most of his parables and teachings, Jesus leans toward non-duality and away from simple binaries of black and white, bad and good, right and wrong. He tends to introduce new ways of thinking and acting that transcend these dualities. But every now and then, he says something that absolutely seems like a pretty clear duality, as in this passage from the Gospel of Luke. You cannot serve both God and mammon. It's a pretty clear either-or situation. Not a both and not a non-dual way of thinking. Either you serve God, which for Jesus was the embodiment of love with a capital L, which is larger than oneself alone, or you serve mammon, which is the god, lowercase g, of wealth and money, superficiality and success. As Richard Rohr, one of my favorite theologians, describes it, Jesus is positing two economies or world views. One economy is based in quid pro quo, reward and punishment thinking, and a retributive notion of justice. This much service or this much product requires this much payment or this much reward. It soon becomes the entire, and I do mean entire, frame for all of life, our fundamental relationships, even marriage and children, and our basic self-image. Rohr contrasts this, in his words, meritocracy or punishment reward economy with what Jesus presents, which he calls a gift economy. In a gift economy, there is no equivalence between what we give and how much we get. Now, I know, Rohr says, we're all squirming. We don't like it because we feel we've worked hard to get our wonderful middle-class positions or wherever we are. We feel we have rights that we've earned. But, Rohr argues, Jesus and other great spiritual teachers through the ages have told us time and time again that everything is a gift, and in the end, none of it is really earned. It is all a gift, Rohr says. The fact of our being alive, of being able to breathe in and out, of having human consciousness and feelings and the ability to reason, all of these are gifts. He says, we like the world of seemingly logical equations, but to understand the good news in its purity and in its transformative power, we have to stop counting, measuring, and weighing. We have to stop saying, I deserve, and deciding who does or does not deserve. But it is only when we have experienced unearned grace and mercy that we can come to this underlying truth of everything being a gift. It is an incredibly difficult leap to make, especially when we are embedded in a culture and in a society that has idolized a kind of hyper-capitalism that reduces every interaction and every relationship as an exchange of commodities, as a quid pro quo. On any given Sunday, you can find preachers extolling the so-called prosperity gospel, which turns God into a kind of quid pro quo bubblegum machine. Give God this prayer or attend that particular church, and he will reward you with wealth and favor beyond your wildest dreams. In the secular world, we see the same dynamic at work in the idea that our economic system always rewards those who work hard and punishes those who are lazy, despite very clear evidence that there are millions of hardworking people who are not in any way rewarded by our current system. The system is rigged, and anyone with even a modicum of truthfulness will tell you so. What undergirds this reward and punishment quid pro quo view is the idea of scarcity, the idea that there's not enough to go around, so you have to grab what you can and hold on to it. A different point of view is offered by Lynn Twist in her book titled The Soul of Money. Twist writes, "We each have a choice in any setting to step back and let go of the mindset of scarcity. Once we let go of scarcity, we discover the surprising truth of sufficiency. By sufficiency, I don't mean a quantity of anything. Sufficiency isn't an amount at all. It is an experience, a context. We generate a declaration, a knowing that there is enough and that we are enough. When we live in the context of sufficiency," Twist says, "we find a natural freedom and integrity. We engage in life from a sense of our own wholeness rather than a desperate longing to be complete. We feel naturally called to share the resources that flow through our lives, our time, our money, our wisdom, our energy, at whatever level those resources flow, to serve our highest commitments." Twist continues, "Sufficiency as a way of being offers us enormous personal freedom and possibility. Rather than scarcity's myths, they tell us that the only way to perceive the world is there's not enough, more is better, and that's just the way it is. The truth of sufficiency asserts that there is enough for everyone. Knowing there is enough inspires sharing, collaboration, and contribution. Despite the messages with which we are bombarded each and every day of our lives, there is enough. We are enough. And when we experience this sufficiency rather than scarcity, then we can start to become truly generous people." One of my favorite stories about generosity comes from Sudan, a country that's currently torn apart by violence that stems, at least partly, from a mindset of scarcity and quid pro quo thinking. Long ago in Sudan, a man called Ate lived far off in the countryside, so far from the main road that they very rarely got any visitors at all. Ate lived there with his many children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and all of the spouses, comprising a small village just on their own. They had everything that they really needed in their village. It was next to a river, and as I said, it was very rare for people to come by. But they had plenty of clean water to drink. They were able to raise their own food. And so they truly were blessed with sufficiency. One day, not far from the village, a caravan of merchants lost their way off of the main road somehow, about a dozen of them. And they started wandering around in circles in a nearby woods with no idea how to get back onto their path. They went to sleep one night, and the next morning they were wakened by the sound of a rooster. And they were happy because they knew that meant that there had to be people somewhere nearby. And so it was that they followed that sound and found the village where Ate lived. When they arrived there, they were greeted by several children who smiled and welcomed them warmly. They guided the merchants into a yard where they took care of their camels, giving them grass, grain, and water. And the merchants were invited in another yard and welcomed by an elderly man, Ate himself. He asked them to join his family in a special feast that they held each time a guest found their way to their village. The merchants, who were extremely hungry and thirsty by this time, said yes. At the feast, everyone ate delicious food and sang songs and told stories and gave thanks for their good luck in having so much good food and drink. The villagers made the merchants feel at home and welcomed them to stay for several days until their camels were rested. When at last the merchants resumed their journey, they offered money and gifts to Ate in exchange for the hospitality they'd experienced. The name Ate means giver, and he refused any compensation. He said it was his honor and privilege to be able to host the merchants. He invited them to return again and bring other guests with them. As the merchants continued their journey, they remembered the standing invitation, and within a year, they returned with more of their family and friends. They were just as warmly received as they had been before. After that, the stories of Ate and his family spread like wildfire. Anyone traveling along the main road, if they were hungry or thirsty, turned off the road to visit this village. Year after year, more and more people came. Finally, the stream of visitors was so frequent that the path to Ate's village became more visible and distinct than the main road itself. The former road all but disappeared. The village of Ate became the most important stop along the road. All who stopped were served with the same generosity as the first visiting merchants. All the food and any supplies they needed, a room to sleep, and care for their camels were provided at no cost. Ate came to be called Awak Adarib, which means the one who bent the road. His story is shared to this day in Sudan, and the Sudanese people continue to offer the same kind of generosity to strangers. I think of Sunnyhill as a congregation that is bending the road, metaphorically, if not literally. It's the kind of place we aspire to be, and the kind of congregation that has already done some significant road bending in the form of generosity, warmth, and welcoming. Sunnyhill is a place where people come who may never have felt welcomed, included, or valued in any other religious community or even in their own families. Sunnyhill is a place where we practice generosity in everything we do. It is a place where we work for restorative justice rather than retributive justice, where we organize our resources and our power to make a difference for the better in our community and in our world. Sunnyhill is a place where our children and youth learn how to be loving and responsible human beings, a place where our values are not just talked about, but lived and celebrated. Right now, many congregations of all denominations are struggling, and some are perishing, and their pastors are essentially congregational hospice chaplains. Hospice chaplains do important work, sacred work, and even holy work. But if that's the only work that's occurring in a congregation, there's something wrong. Sunnyhill is not a dying congregation. It is a living, breathing, loving, life-giving force for good in the world. We care for and honor everyone, certainly those among us who need special care, including those of us who grow more frail each year. But our mission is forward-facing. It is about those who will come after us. It is about the world that we are building together. When you support Sunnyhill, you are supporting our mission to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. And every part of that mission depends on generosity. It depends on our response to the generosity of the natural world being appropriately generous. It depends on our ability to transform even our mistakes into acts of generosity that might have a positive impact that exceeds our wildest dreams. And today, and I do mean today, right here, right now, we have a special opportunity to participate in generosity. I'm excited to announce that an incredibly generous Sunnyhill family has offered to match new pledges to our Be the Future capital campaign, dollar for dollar, up to $1 million. Any new pledges or increases in existing pledges received between now and the end of this month will be matched. The generosity that this challenge gift represents is absolutely breathtaking. It's stunning, it is amazing, and I find it deeply moving and inspiring. And it is an invitation. This pledge represents a real, once-in-a-lifetime, transformational gift in which everyone in the congregation can participate. If, for example, you make a $1,000 pledge to be paid by the end of 2027, it will be matched, resulting in $2,000 for our capital campaign. Likewise, a $50,000 pledge will be matched, resulting in $100,000 for the capital campaign. The same holds true for pledge increases. If you increase an existing capital campaign pledge, that increase will be matched dollar for dollar. This gift is being made anonymously. It's not about recognition in any way, shape, or form. And even though it is given in the form of a matching gift, it's not a real quid pro quo because the donors are receiving nothing from this gift except the experience of generosity itself. We're at the stage in this capital campaign where it's really all about participation. Just fewer than half of our households have made pledges, and we really need as close to every household as we can get to participate. This challenge pledge means that whatever you pledge from this point forward, no matter how large or small, up to $1 million, will have twice the impact that it otherwise would have had. The real gift is not so much the $1 million as it is the opportunity for everyone in this congregation to participate in an incredible act of generosity. As I've been thinking about this gift in recent days, I've been moved to tears, not just because of the size or scale of the gift, but because of its warmth and its implicit understanding of generosity outside the economy of scarcity and toward the economy of sufficiency, and understanding that there is enough and that we, all of us together, are enough. I hope and pray that we continue to bend the road by practicing generosity as individuals and as a congregation, as we work together to create restorative justice and transformative love. May it be so. Amen.
Please rise again and bow your spirit. Join in singing, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing.
Please join me in saying the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We'll close with these words. In the end, it won't matter how much we have, but how generously we have given. It won't matter how much we know, but rather how well we live. And it won't matter how much we believe, but how deeply we love. May you live generously, love deeply, and may you go in peace.